Alrighty, it is Wednesday, but I have to go back to Tuesday really quick. I unloaded my phone. I ended up working on the script for most of the day. I did not complete it, but I did get the scene more or less up to a point. I ended up cutting out the situation where the character does a lot of emotional mulling over, and I kept the bare minimum for that. The main character was supposed to reiterate his sentiments to his new companions, but trying to get through all that felt just sloggy, so I just cut it out. They've already offered to have him come with them. So that's more or less at the point where he's enticed to come with them and they're going to make a verbal agreement. Not enough has actually happened in this chapter, so I'm figuring that the next thing that's going to be after this is that they're going to take him to their home base and he's going to meet the next two characters, which I was hoping to have them introduced by chapter 6. I didn't think that it would be this soon. The thing is that their scene was in tandem with another scene, which he finds out what they sell. At this moment, I don't know if I'll be able to fit that in. It kind of feels like it won't happen. I don't know. I have to really. It really just depends on how much is said in the chapters that are introduced. So we'll see about that. Other than that, Monica finished the pages. I think we ate lunch and we watched more of Blend S. We took a break. I went back on. I colored everything. I got the pictures finished, but I didn't get the text on them. When I woke up this morning, I knew I had to do that a little bit later. And speaking of this morning, the first thing that happened was an Amber Alert went off at like 12:30ish, around about. And like when I read it, it said check your local news media, and it surprised me because I'm like, why doesn't it just say what's wrong? That's so rare. So like I ended up going on to the internet. I checked Twitter, and everybody who got the Amber Alert in Los Angeles was wondering what the heck it was about. A lot of people were nervous and scared, but mostly people just found that it was about this little 1-year-old boy was kidnapped by his father. That was basically it. I'm like, why couldn't they just describe that? Why, they could fit a lot of text into these alerts. Why couldn't they just tell us? From what I understand, the authorities were coming to take the child away from the parents, and the father decided to escape with the child. The thing was, I think the child is in danger because the parents are lousy or something. I don't know. That's the impression that I got. Other than that, it felt like nothing I could do anything about. I'm in Los Angeles, but I'm not really in Los Angeles, if you know what I mean. I don't know why Anaheim is considered part of Los Angeles. It does not make sense. It's part of Orange County as far as I'm concerned. I worked on the line art for pages 10, 11, and 12. I got them done exactly 4:50, and then instead of going for a run, I just went back to bed. I was so tired. Okay, we got up at 6. We ate breakfast and watched Blendis episode 5. We almost watched episode 6, but there isn't anything else after episode 6. We're holding on to that for lunch. After we watched Blendis, I ended up putting the text on pages 7, 8, and 9, and I uploaded them. And then I edited the first 3 audios of the next video, and then I assembled all of the extras that are completed, and they're just line art, and they need color, and they need text. So I need to give those to Monica after she's done with the pages 10, 11, and 12. And then I ended up printing out the extras that need to be line arted, and those are ready. So I'm a little concerned because I really want to get the extras done when Monica is at the wellness center, but I also need to get the storyboard done. So I'm like, I'm all over the place of deciding what to do about it. I think I might as well just start working on some things here while I'm still here, like work on either the storyboard for 5 or work on some of the extras, so I don't have to worry about that later. Like I have these 2 pages of extras I just printed out that I can just line art right now. I don't have to worry about lining arting later. So we're kind of out of this week's food. We're thinking about going to go shopping either before or after lunch. I'm not really sure. I just finished off the yogurt. There isn't any more yogurt. We need to get more yogurt. We already made a list of the things we need to buy when we go to Fullerton tomorrow. Is there anything else? Also the 1-year anniversary for the apartment complex is tomorrow. So I expect the whole place to be decked out for that, because like last year they had like tables and all this stuff, but we didn't really leave the our unit to go look at it. We just stayed in. So yeah, it kind of seems like it was mostly for the corporate side of the apartment complex rather than the actual tenants. Oh well, we'll see how it goes. Alrighty then, I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Thursday, but I have to go back to Wednesday really quick. First things first, anything I had printed out, I worked on it. I ended up line arting artwork that was ready to be line arted. I refined sketches that were printed out also. And then I started working on thumbnails for the future extras, and I redid a few things. Like that one I said that I came out terrible last week, I ended up redoing that one. Also redid 46, so I can't wait to work on that now. I also completed the script for chapter 6, and then we hit Vaughn, so we bought $40 worth of food. Other than that, Monica didn't finish the pages until like 2 o'clock, I think. But we were so tired, we ended up just going straight to bed. So then I woke up this morning at about like 3:30ish. I edited the last 3 audio files, I compressed the video, and then I did all the artwork for pages 10, 11, and 12. I completed the artwork, but I didn't get the text on it. We had to eat breakfast, and then we left for Fullerton at around about the time that my video was done compressing, so it was like 7:30ish. Went straight to Fullerton. I stopped for every single dime and penny that I found. I found so many pennies, it wasn't even funny. I think I found like 15 cents worth of pennies, and then I found 2 dimes. If you're following me on Twitter, you probably noticed that I had said that. So much change. I mean, I found like a majority of the change in like one parking lot, and then some pennies there going up and down this one street. It was crazy. Oh my god. We ended up at Sprouts at I didn't check the time when we actually got there. We hit Sprouts. I got the chai tea again, and then we got more crackers. We hit Target, and they had all sorts of seasonal stuff. Recently Pepperidge Farm actually released mint Brussels cookies. The Brussels cookies are these like thin, like they're kind of like Milanos, but like they're thinner and crunchier. So like really super thin, crunchy Milanos. If you don't know what a Milano is, it's like two cookies together with some type of like chocolate filling or something like that. And the Brussels is very like that, but it's like circular and like it's flatter and it's crunchy for some reason. So it tastes kind of dry. And I've had some recently, they're really good. And they made some mint ones recently, and I first for the holiday season, I absolutely had to have it, so we got a couple of those. Also, this time of the year is when they release the Linzers. Is they only release the Linzers during this time of the year. The Linzers are these little round cookies that are kind of like, the cookie part itself is kind of bland, but it's stuffed with fruit, so it's some type of like raspberry filling inside. Monica loves those. I've been getting them for her every year. Yeah, we got some of those. She said she wasn't going to open the bag until about Thanksgiving, and I don't know if she'll be able to hold off from opening it until then. Okay, so after we hit Target, we ended up hitting Michael's, and we looked to see if they had anything interesting there. They had one set of fabric rolls. It had a really cute floral print, so we got that for Rio. And then I ended up getting a pack of Sakura Micron pens. This is my second set of Sakura pens. I've only owned, like, out of all the multi-liners I've ever owned, I've owned the Sakura Microns and then the Copic multi-liners. This was back in the late 2000s, and I felt like the pens weren't that good. That was just my personal opinion, but I don't really know. I've heard that they've gotten smoother. I don't know. I've lots of people have been saying that they're better than most pens. I mean, a lot of people keep saying they're better than the Stiegler ones, and I have owned like two. How many packs of Stieglers have I owned so far? Oh my god! I think I'm still on my second pack of Stieglers. I don't remember. I think this might be my second pack of Stieglers. I need to get another pack soon because like my thinnest one, my tiniest one, actually already dried out. So I'm interested in seeing how these Sakura Microns work for me. I don't know if they're going to be any better than the Stiegler ones. I'm going to try it on chapter 5 and see how it goes. Because like I went from using the Stieglers to the Pilot pens again because they're just so much fast paced. So what happened after that? After Michael's, we checked out Dollar Tree, but there wasn't anything there. We hit the Wellness Center. I worked on only the storyboard for chapter 5 because like she came out of both of her appointments really quickly because like her meeting with Marianne was very short, and then her shot with the nurse wasn't that long either. So I started to work on the storyboard because once I'm done with it, I have to like adjust where each page starts and stops, and that's where I left off. I didn't get very far with that. So I need to go back to finishing that. After we were done at the wellness center, we went to Walmart, and I stopped for a bunch of pennies again. Okay, so we went to Walmart. We bought chicken, and I think we got sausage. Is that what it was? And then I ended up spending all the change that I found, and I had already brought some change with me from the last week. So like all the change I had together was like $4 and something cents. I already forgot how many cents it was. And then afterward, we went straight home. Monica cooked the chicken, and then I went back to working on the pages. I finished them, and I was compressing my video for the second time. So hopefully if it gets done soon, I'll put it up, but I'm most likely probably gonna put it up tomorrow. Other than that, I finished the pages, and I ended up uploading them to the Tumblr, and I finally got fed up with how they're compressed on the Tumblr. So I ended up looking to see if I could modify the HTML, and after a couple of tutorials, I ended up breaking the actual layout. I messed it up completely, and then I had to restore it, and then I had to mess with it again. That's when I fixed it. At about 2 o'clock, the community party started. Monica went without me, and she went to the opening ceremony, and by the time I showed up, it was the middle to the end of the ceremony, and the only thing I got to eat was a quesadilla, and that was it. She stayed for the taco bar, but I went back upstairs, and that's where I am right now. I was recording. So that was pretty much everything that happened today. Is there anything coming up? Our next meeting of Marianne is on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Doing chapter 5 next week. I'm hoping to do the story of chapter 6, because I really would just like it out of the way. I don't want to think about it. Really excited about starting the script for chapter 7. Monica has not worked on the extras for this week, and I can't work on anything because everything that I was waiting on working on is already done. Alrighty, well, I guess that's pretty much it. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Friday, but I have to go back to Thursday really quick. Monica came back from the anniversary party with some tacos from the taco bar. They were some sad little floppy, little tiny tacos. In fact, when she rolled it up, it looked more like a burrito. It was so sad. But we ate it together along with some rice, some orange rice. What else was there? Kinda don't remember how we ended the day after that. All I know is that we went to bed shortly after. I woke up the next morning at about like 4:30. Was that what it was? I don't remember. All I know is that I went straight to work on everything I needed to finish. So I ended up finishing the second extra for chapter 59, so that got loaded. The cast list is completely done now. And then I set up some of the extras I forgot to set up, and I put them on the cartridge for Monica. All the extras that were on the cartridge were from the second extra for chapter 50, the second extra for chapter 47, half of the second extra for chapter 50, was it 57 or something like that? Oh god, I don't remember. I think it was 57, I don't remember. And then the artwork for Pasha and LaBelle's profiles, those all have been added. I ended up spending some of the day while Monica was coloring those in for me. I spent some of the day working on Acromatics Collab. I got tired of being stuck on the same pages, so I went backwards and I started working on the very last picture. So that last picture is almost done. It was only 2 panels. That's why I was trying to knock it out. But I'm halfway through it. If I can get a chance tomorrow, maybe I can finish it. I don't know. That's best case scenario. I think worst case scenario, I won't get a chance to finish it. It makes me so upset because I was so close to finishing it. Okay, so what else did we do? For lunch, we ended up watching Kino's journey. And this episode is completely about the old lady that Kino was training under. I remember hearing about this storyline about her training under an old woman. We both didn't really like the episode. It was just kind of eh. I mean, we skipped through most of it. That's how boring it was. And basically, she had to, her traveling mate guy dude, he ended up getting captured by the police of this one country because they framed him, because that's how they roll, apparently. And she left, but she had to come back and save him, and then they held the tower hostage or something. I don't know. All I know is that they did it for 3 days and they succeeded. So, and then apparently that changed everything. I don't know. I just felt phony. We didn't watch Netoju. We saved it, hoping to do it later. We ended up going to Vaughn's instead, and we picked up a handful of things. And I think that's pretty much more or less what happened. After that, I completed the second extra for chapter 50, and I'm in the middle of finishing the second extra for chapter 47. So I'm actually getting shit done, which makes me so happy. I did load the next video, so that's up. Is there anything else going on? Okay, so I did get contacted by my the person who's selling the DDS body. They said that they were going to send it out at latest by Saturday. So I'm expecting it to get out at some point. They have my money though. What else is there? The only other interesting thing of news that came out was that Volks announced doing Sailor Moon from Sailor Moon S and Sailor Moon Super S. And so we're getting a doll featuring Sailor Moon, and I'm kind of on the fence about this because, you know, first and foremost, I love Super Sailor Moon. She is my favorite version of all the Sailor Moons. The trouble is that the face mold for the doll doesn't look like her. It looks so like, how do I say this? Most of the recent doll faces that have been coming out lately have been looking very like amateur. I don't know how to explain it. They just don't look finished. And I noticed this with the most recent announcement for Fate Grand Order's Joan of Arc. Her face, something doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel like her. I don't know. And this one for Sailor Moon, it was just and I'm getting kind of worried about who's ever molding these face molds. They're looking more and more amateur every time they come out. Makes me worried for the Nier Automata. Is it Automata or Automata? I don't know. Nier Automata. I don't know. Whatever. Those are eventually going to come out next year, and I'm worried about what they're going to look like because like everyone really likes those two characters, and if they don't get a good face mold for them, I'm going to cry. But Volks has done the past more like three-dimensional faces, not 2D anime faces. So I'm hoping that whoever did those faces in the past for Volks will do them 2B and 9S. Best case scenario, I would really like to get Sailor Moon's outfit. That would be awesome. But other than that, I think I can pass on her face mold. I doubt anyone's gonna want to keep that face mold. Hopefully, if owner photos come out and we see that they look good, then maybe. I don't know. What else is coming up? Okay, so I think that's virtually it. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Saturday, but I have to go back to Friday. I feel terrible. I cannot really remember what happened yesterday. The only thing I can really remember is going to Vaughn's, but that's it. And I also completed some more extras. I finished the art for 50, but I didn't put the text on it. And I don't know if I've already said this. I think I might have already said this. This morning, I ended up working on the extras for 47's second extra. What else did I do besides that? I know there was something else. I think I ended up working on the list of all the different chapters coming up after January, I think. Because like all the chapters that I'm working on right now are on a timetable, and we just knocked out all of, I think, September 2018. So that's when they're going to be scheduled to go up. Today we decided to do something different, and we actually went to Albertsons to get some food, but they didn't have the Thomas English muffins that we typically get, so we opted for bagels. I'm not really a fan of bagels anymore. And then I finished the line art for the new version of 46, and I think it was for chapter 60. It's like the one half of the first extra for chapter 60. I ended up working on that. Oh yeah, I forgot I completed the second extra for chapter 57 this morning. I was working on that all morning. Yeah, so that went up. It's on the website now. So man, I'm all over the place. I'm so behind. I've been behind on my written journal. I haven't been keeping track of anything anymore. I'm struggling to remember things. Let's see. So today we watched Pingu in the City, and we watched the next episode of Blendes. My opinion of Pingu in the City, I actually felt I could relate to this episode of being a sibling and fighting over the TV with a sibling. It's been a really long time since I fought over the TV with anyone. Oh my god, I think I was at maybe 10? I'm guessing. I don't really remember. I think, no, actually we had moved away by the time I was 10. I stopped watching TV after we moved away. I was more into the TV when we were still living in an apartment complex when I was a kid. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna say 8 or 9ish. I don't really remember. I thought that the whole blackout scenario was a really unique scenario. And for Blendes, they had a jungle themed restaurant. They couldn't find strawberries, and they decided they need another person. So the new character's coming soon. I'm really interested in seeing how this pans out for this character. Also, episodes for Magus Bride and Land Illustrious are out, but I'm gonna take my time before I actually watch those. So we're gonna watch them tomorrow, most likely. Also, I ended up printing out the drafts for the next chapter, so that's ready to go for tomorrow. Alrighty, so the last thing that happened was I got the tracking number for the Dolphin Dream body I bought, so it's gonna be on its way. It left on Saturday. Mail doesn't typically move on Sunday, so I figured that it has anywhere between Monday to Tuesday to get here. So I'm guessing it's gonna be around that point. Either that or if shipping ends up being really super slow, I can see that I won't be seeing it until like maybe like after Thanksgiving at worst, so we'll see. Alrighty then, I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Sunday, but I have to go back to Saturday really quick. And one of the things I completely forgot was that we ended up watching Netaju, because like, oh my god, I feel like the series is just making me want to hate it. I don't know, I really hate this coworker guy that he has to deal with, or she has to deal with, and he's just, oh my god. Why is he trying to get in her business? Oh my god, it's just so annoying. But yeah, I don't know if I like where the story is going. I mean, yes, they're trying to imply that he's played with her before, the lovers, but like, do we need to go down that path? I don't know. It's starting to feel. It went from being cute to being like extremely ham-fisted, and I was just, I don't know. I don't really appreciate the series as much as I did before, and I kind of want to stop. But like, then there would be nothing else to watch. I'm not really enjoying the fall anime lineup, but I feel like it's keeping me entertained enough. Okay, so the last thing I did yesterday was I ended up working on the storyboard for chapter 6, and I had 2 pages left over. And by 2 pages, I technically mean 4, because those 2 pages had a front and a back. And I ended up trying to like organize it so that way all the panels I did do fit 12 pages, but then I had like occasionally pages with just 2 really huge panels conveying very little information. I'm like, I think I need to go back and add more shit to this. This morning I woke up at 1 o'clock exactly. I worked on the first 3 pages of chapter 5, and then I went for a run by myself because Monica took a shower at like between 3 and 4 in the morning, because she had a feeling she was going to spend all day on the pages and she wouldn't remember to go take a shower. So I went running by myself, and I brainstormed all throughout that time what I needed to add. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a segment between the first monologue at the beginning of chapter 6, and that segment will segue into the conversation, and then I'm going to change the characters' reactions here and there to certain things. And I don't remember there's any other. I think I actually might have to modify an entire like idea, reaction, or statement by a certain character. I don't know. I feel like maybe a little bit at the ending I have to tweak it a little bit. But I ended up doing a secondary recording where I just talked about what I had brainstormed as the exact things I wanted to add. So when I get a moment, I need to work on that. But today I actually have to color in page 1, so I can't do it today. So maybe tomorrow. I don't know when I'm gonna have time. I might have time when I'm done. Actually, no, I'd really doubt I'll have time after I'm done with page 1. I mean, I could do it first, but then I would take away from me working on page 1. So I need to get that done out of the way. We ended up watching for breakfast the next episode of Land of the Lustrous. All of the characters hibernated, and except for Phos, she stayed up with Antarcticite. I didn't even know Antarcticite was even a thing. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, there's also something called Sinjai, which is very similar to Antarcticite, and I'm surprised that they didn't insert a character like that either, unless Sinjai works differently. Other than that, they say that Sinjai and Antarcticite are very similar to one another. I'm confused. Alrighty, so she got her arms lost, so who knows what they're gonna do about that? I have no idea. As far as I'm concerned, I feel like it's just this entire series could be just summarized down to Phos, don't get into trouble. I'm gonna get into trouble. Just, oh god, I hate it so much, and yet it's so entertaining. So I'm thinking maybe they might be able to like. I think that they, at least based off of what we saw in the preview, I think they might actually explain what's the relationship a little bit more of Master and of the Sensei and the Lunarians, because like I really want to know about that. I love him so much. Sorry. Okay, so what else happened? Alrighty, so that leads me to right now. I got off at 7. I should get on between like 8 and 9, so like 8:30 I think. I got to finally try out the Sakura Micron pens that I bought, and let's just say this, I'm like shocked about how cheap they feel. I don't know if it's just because I've been using the Stietlers, and the Stietlers have like this matte barrel, and it feels really good when you're holding them. But the Sakura Microns are glossy, and so it just gives it this natural like cheap plasticky feel. Even when I was writing with them, occasionally I would have these moments where the tip of the pen would be kind of hairy for some reason, and I would have to like, you know, remove the excess hair on it. And that felt weird. And there'd be moments where I would just place it down and try to make it line at a certain angle, and then like it would give me nothing, which shocked the hell out of me because I don't remember the Micron set being this way. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm a little disappointed with it. Not to mention my original Micron set came in its own little like plastic container when I first bought it back in 2005, and this wasn't even like, it just came with nothing. It just depends, and that's it. So I'm like, okay, they're definitely cost effective, I suppose, but comparing them to my Stietlers, and I didn't mean to compare them to my Stietlers, I feel like my 1 and 2 on my Stietlers are definitely dried out, because like I bought this set for Stietler last year, so I need to get a new set of them. What I ended up doing, since my Stietlers are older, I decided to just take them out of like the carrying case they come in and just put all the Microns in there, since they're the ones I'm using right now. And I'm going to try to use up the last of the Stietler ink. I'm not really sure on what at the moment. I figure I'll use it refining pages. Other than that, I have to admit I'm a bit disappointed with the Sakura Microns. I was hoping for something a little bit more polished, and they didn't feel like they're refined enough. So yeah, I feel like in this case the Stietlers were better. As far as the ink goes, I think the ink was fine. There's nothing about the ink to complain about. It's just that the presentation of the pen itself was kind of a lackluster. Not to mention, I got a lot of ink on my fingers for some reason. I don't know why. I never had that problem with the Stietlers. I'm considering maybe going ahead and trying the other liners that I want to try. I think I want to try the Prismacolor liners. What else was there? And I also wanted to try the Copic ones. I don't know where I can get the Copic ones, because as far as I've seen, I haven't seen them in person. So I would have to either go to Dickblick again, which is a while away from where I live. It's a pain in the ass distance. Or I can try jet pens. I'm considering trying jet pens because I really want to try some of their stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. I might like it, I might not. Other than that, it's good to try out these pens while they're still new. It's not good to test pens against pens when they're older, which is why I feel like I don't really want to compare them to my Stietlers, but I kind of ended up doing it anyway. So we'll see. Like I said, my Stietlers are a year old. I opened them up around the time when I was working on Ho-Hum Ditum. I think it was like halfway through Ho-Hum Ditum I opened them up. I don't know. All I know is that I didn't use them very much for Ho-Hum Ditum, because I realized that Ho-Hum Ditum needed the Pilot G2 series pens better. And I was working on, like I said, I was working on some of the first chapters of the Live NPC sequel with the Pilot pens, and they worked just fine. Other than that, I like the 005 pen that came with my Microns. I know that my Stietler 005 pen was the same way, but it dried out and Monica threw it away recently. So definitely I need to replace the Stietlers. But yeah, like I said, I'm not really a fan of the new Micron set. It's just really disappointing. Okay, so I think that's virtually everything. There's nothing else I could think of. I'm not sure I don't think this is the last recording of the week. I think tomorrow is the last recording. I also need to recharge this phone. Alrighty then, I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Monday, but I have to go back to Sunday really quick. We ended up watching Umaru and Ballroom for lunch. Personally, I don't know what to make of this episode of Umaru. Of course, I skipped every part where Kyrie. I feel like the storyline finally is coming together. It almost feels like a lie, because like it didn't really need a storyline, but it seems like they really want there to be a storyline. Ever since they introduced that Congo girl, and like I don't know what the punchline is gonna be of all this, because I just feel like it just feels like I can't even put my finger on it. It's just that, you know, I feel like it's that unnecessary. So yeah, it's a lot of stories about people finding the person who helped them be themselves. While I can appreciate that, I just feel like the series didn't need to have that message. It's okay. After that, we watched Ballroom, and I hated it. Oh my god! I know they said that the anime was supposed to surpass the manga. I feel like we just got there because that's how this episode made me feel. That the director took liberty with the animation and did all sorts of weird shit with it, which made me feel like it felt more like a filler episode rather than an actual conclusion episode. And I feel like I don't know. I didn't understand the point of what we're resolving at the end. It just felt like unnecessary. I don't know. All I know is that I didn't really care for it personally. I just but apparently is that his name, Kyoto? I forgot already. Yeah, apparently he did something to him, and apparently it's making him either A, worse, or B, better. I don't know. It really just depends on how Hatara works through it. All I know is that I feel like ever since Hatara got with Shinatsu, I feel like I just don't care about him as much anymore. He was someone I rooted for until her, and then now I just don't get it. I just don't care. So yeah. And her father had the nerve to say, you know, get married. I just... No. Oh well. Okay, so afterward we tried to go refill the water bottles, but the water machine wasn't working, so we decided to just give up trying to refill them. And we just took all the remaining empty bottles and threw them in the bottle bag for next month. Or I ended up working on the pages from like 1:30ish to 3, I think it was. I got tired. I only managed to complete page 1 and page 3. And then I stopped in the middle of page 2. I queued more pages to Tumblr. So that way at least 2 more weeks can come out after this week. And then I ended up modifying a bit of chapter 6, and I didn't get very far. So this morning I woke up at 11:40 something, I think. And then I stayed in bed until like 12:40 something. I got up a little bit before 1. I worked on the pages, and what made this round of pages go faster was because I didn't bother trying to like refine through all my sketches. Because like I feel like when I draw people, I need to make everything very distinct, or else I'm gonna draw them wrong. And I kept for every single page, I kept refining the characters so that they looked very obvious to me. So this time, all I did was just do it in pencil instead of doing it in pen afterward. It shaved off a whole hour, so I got done before I had to go running. I had all the pages assembled at like 4:50. So I ended up going for I think the game was not really a run, it was more like a walk stroll. I brainstormed other things I needed to add to chapter 6, and I'm really excited about finishing that. I really want to get that done before I have to start working on chapter 7. I don't want to wait too long on chapter 7. I want to have it done before Marianne shows up so I can storyboard it with chapter 6. And Marianne's coming over on Wednesday, so not tomorrow, but the day after. According to the tracking information we got for the DDS body, that body should show up sometime later today. It said by 8:30 p.m. or by 8 p.m. So like I don't know when it's gonna arrive. I figure it's gonna show up eventually. I haven't checked the tracking since this morning, so it's probably moved since the day started. I got back, I updated my journals, Monica made breakfast, we ended up watching Magus Bride for breakfast, and I feel like this felt so clumsy. I feel like, I think it's Ruth, right? Is that character gonna be Ruth, that dog guy? Because like his name was something else, his sister called him Ulysses, so I'm like, okay, is it Ruth? I'm confused. Because, like, the first thing that had this slight, like, what felt like a murder mystery, but it turns out that this Chimera attacked Ruth and some random woman, and those 2 people we met in the last one apparently has something to do with this. It felt so cluttered, and I'm like, okay, you guys are doing a lot of things at once, and, like, they spent a lot of time just being, like, slow about it. So I felt like this could have been handled so much easier. I don't know. I feel like this series is really, like, disappointed me. I feel like the OVAs were better. They felt more cohesive, but this series feels so, like wonky. I'm so disappointed with it. I hope somebody else points this out, because I don't want to be the one that has to point it out. Okay, let's see what else happened after that. And then I got off at 7. I want to take a break until like, at least 8:30, and then I'm going to go back on and finish working on page 2, and then the script, if I can. Monica's doing 3 pages. She's doing 4, 5, and 6. So hopefully that'll keep her busy until later, because like I really need some time to finish this script and then hopefully start the next one. Oh, I also need her to read through the next chapter is coming out. I can't forget to do that also. Is there anything else I need to do besides that? No, I think that's virtually it. Okay, so update on my Sakura Microns. So this morning when I was inking, I noticed that my one pen, it was skipping. It for moments it wouldn't even draw. It just was like, what's wrong with you? I had to like write something off to the side to get it to start working again. I'm like really confused about that, because like this is a brand new pen set. It should not be acting like this. So I don't know. I keep comparing it to my Stiegler ones. I keep grabbing the Stiegler one and writing sentences with it with both of them, and like the ink is darker and more it stands out more, but the fact that it has that issue of like occasionally stopping, it just is confusing. I don't even know why. There's nothing that's causing it to stop. Not like I'm drawing over pencil or anything. So like I have no idea why it skips. Is that pretty much it? Yeah, I think that's virtually all that I'm annoyed with. Alrighty then. I think this is the last recording for this week, so I will see you next week.